Okay, let's wait.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Am I audible? Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Hi, everybody. Today, I would like to present you about the Databricks Data Engineer Associate Certification. So I just wanted to give you some tips on how to clear this exam. I will just first go through like a quick introduction of what Databricks is, and then I'll give you a comparison of the Azure courses, like fundamental courses, Azure fundamental certifications versus this certification to just give you an idea of the level of difficulty between taking different examinations. Then I'll go through like how my learning journey was and how I set some milestones. And then I'll just share the effort, the time spent, and how much money I spent for this examination and key takeaways from my learnings. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what is Azure Databricks. This is Apache Spark-based platform. And this is actually developed with Azure, and it is also with other cloud platforms like AWS. So there is something called as Azure Databricks that's hosted with Microsoft, and you can launch that from there, or you can even launch it from AWS. So this tool is like where it provides like a streamlined workflows. You can have an interactive workspace where you can collaboratively work with data engineers, data scientists, and business analysts. Just to give an idea of where this lies between the ADF and other Azure related tools, I think other Azure related tools. I'll give you a screenshot of how it looks. But this one this is a Databricks user interface. So this is how the Databricks looks like. You can just get the tool from communitycloud.databricks.com. It's like a free tool that you can use for your training purpose. You don't have to pay anything for that, but there are limitations with this clusters, with the availability of clusters. So what I show you here is the user interface, and it shows you like all these kind of notebooks here where you can just do your coding with R or SQL or Scala or Python. Use your own programming languages. The Databricks gives these flexibility to use any of these programming languages. And then you can just do your coding here. You can spin up your own cluster here, and then you can run your run your code here with this user interface. So this is how it looks. You can go into catalog and look into all your tables, and you can collaboratively work on these kind of notebooks. I can give you a Databricks deep dive session sometime later, but this is just to give you an idea of how the user interface looks like. The next thing that I want to talk about is the difficulty level comparison. I have taken the Azure Data Fundamental exam before, and I would say that was the easiest exam. The preparation didn't take a lot of time. I just took a free training that's being offered by Microsoft. It is like tutors offer it like every month. There are certain days they offer it, and they go through all the topics that's covered in the exam. And once you are comfortable with those topics, you can just take some practice test for a week or so, and then within a month or so, you can just schedule an exam and you can take the test. And once you're comfortable with the practice test and score around 90%, you're good to go and you can take the exam. There are only certain concepts, very basic things are explained in the fundamental exams. So it is like covers the overall part of it, and it is easy to take. And to just compare that with this associate level, this Databricks data engineering associate examination was somewhat difficult when compared to the fundamental exam, because I need to put in a lot of time continuously learning all the topics that's being covered in the exam. I had to practice all the lab sessions, and I had to now and then take some tests, and then try to be very confident before actually signing up for the test. So uh, when I thought I wanted to take this exam, because the topic was so vast, And I just wanted to go over the Databricks Data Engineering Associate in the Databricks Learning Academy, and went into these topics that they offered. So they classify like what are all the different topics that they're going to ask for this examination. And they say like they give around 45 to 50 questions in the exam. And they say like this topic, 24% of this will be asked in exam and 29% of this will be asked in exam, something like that. So with this understanding, we can expect that if you're very confident that you'll at least have to answer 11 questions out of this. You'll at least have to answer 13 questions in this topic, something like that. So you have to achieve 70% to pass this exam. And so you need to be like very well versed in these topics, definitely all these three, which has a higher level of percentages here. um, and to start with my learning journey, I didn't actually get any courses from Udemy or any other websites. I just the materials that I used to prepare for this exam was through the Databricks Academy. I just went to the Databricks Academy. They offered the materials like videos for free. And then I just took those, I just studied those, and I took notes. I captured some images, like something like this. If there is an explanation and there is some kind of images that helps me remember the concept, I would constantly take these kind of images and save it somewhere as a flashcard, and so that it's easier for me to revise when I want to take the test. So that is how I just prepared some kind of a flashcards or kind of a just kind of saved it and looked into it periodically when I was preparing for the test. For the tools, like I said, I went into the Databricks community account. I got a free community account. There is a limitation on the clusters, but that was still good enough for me to prepare for the examination. And there is where I did the lab sessions also. So when I started taking the courses, half the way I still felt like it's a long journey, and it was not very comfortable because every day I had to spend like around 30 minutes or 1 hour. So I thought like how I was trying to assess me like how far I will be comfortable taking the examination. So I would advise you to probably take this kind of some kind of a set some milestones where you can just do some kind of LinkedIn course learning and take a test and get a badge. This one was like provided by Databricks. There was a Databricks accredited Lakos fundamental course that it provided. This is like no cost. You don't have to set a specific time. No proctor. Once you go over the course, it just gives you a set of questions and you will answer it. If you fail it, you can take it again, something like that. So once I did this, I got a little bit of confidence that probably I can do this, because this is only like around 25 to 29%. There's more that I need to learn, but at least it helps me boost my confidence or level of interest in taking the examination, and just to pursue it and take it more. So that I would say, like, if you want to do this course or this certification or any other certification, try to set some kind of milestones where you can just earn some badges or take some tests. Like I said, for the time, I started around mid-March or April. I'm not very sure, around that time frame. I just spent 30 minutes to 1 hour every day or every other day sometimes. But the most important tip is, once you just start going over the all the concepts, when you did all the all the lab sessions, when you're done with all that, then you need to, if you are thinking about start taking the examination, just like last time how Mohan said, he said that he took a skill sets pro that really helped me get through this examination, I would say. So get the skill sets pro, by that examination. 10 days before the examination is when I brought the skill sets pro exam. And then first few days of the practice test, for one test where I had to spend 90 minutes, I really took more than an hour or two. So I was slow in taking the test, and I still failed the test. And then I repeated it every day. I took one test. So for last few practice tests, I just really completed the test within 1 hour, and I really scored around 80 to 90%. So that is when I thought I'm ready to schedule the examination. So this test, when you take this test, you will know that if you're comfortable taking the examination or you're not comfortable taking that. Because when you just prepare it, sometimes you might not be able to answer the questions very well, but the practice tests are really key for successfully taking the examination. The expense that I spent for this one is like $200 for the examination, plus just $20 for the skill sets pro. And that had around 14 tests. If you take just more than 10 tests, that's good enough for you, because some questions are repeated, some like reinforces your concepts, so it's good. And I just use Databricks account for free. This is how the SkillSets Pro looks like. The one important thing that SkillSets Pro really helped me, I would say, is when you read the question, you just have 2 minutes to answer each of your question. So what happens is, like when you read the question, you need to identify the key words in the question. That helps you identify or eliminate the wrong answers. And then in the practice test, if you get something incorrect, it explains why it is incorrect, and it explains why it is correct. Maybe it also provides you some screenshots from the actual documentation, or takes you to the documentation and then makes you read it. So that way it was very helpful, I would say. So within 2 minutes, now this question is actually really small, but I think AZ-204 is a little bit complex than the Databricks examination. And if you see a very big question, taking a time to read the question and process that information itself will take a lot of time. But when you're used to that, reading the question and trying to pick some words that will help you get to the answers, then it will be really helpful. That is how the SkillSets Pro really helped me. So I would say the key takeaways are, if you're planning to give the exam, spend time continuously, like every day or every week. Don't take a long breaks, don't stop to read a week or so. So if it's fine if you just don't learn a day or 2 days, but don't take long breaks, I would say, because that will lower your confidence and lower your interest level. And so once you read a particular concept, even if you don't take the practice exam, immediately go to Chat GPT and then try to ask for some questions in that topic, and ask it to give some options, and then try to pick the answer, and then ask again to give the correct answer, and then ask it to explain the answer. So those kind of things will really help you understand and have that concept in your muscle memory, I would say. Review your notes, like every week or to every month, whatever you have read in the past, just keep reviewing your take some time to review your notes. That also helped me. And then do some self-assessment, like take your practice tests, or just like I said, you can go to ChatGPT and ask the ChatGPT to throw some 10 questions for a particular concept with options. That also helped. So apart from just learning, doing the labs, focus the art on taking the test, because that taking test is it's really helping to pass it. Learning maybe can help you do the job, but for taking the test, if you keep on practicing by taking some practice tests, it's going to help you clear the examination. So that is all I had. Yeah. Any questions?
Excellent, Charu. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
did an excellent job. You you rocked it. I know
Yeah.
that it is hard, but you made it. It is. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you so much. I started with like around 56%, 60% with the practice test when I failed it. And then I was like around 80 to 90% when I was thinking I will schedule the test. Then finally, when I cleared the exam, I scored 91.1 percentage. I think if I had not gone to buying the skill sets pro recommended by Mohan, I don't think I would have cleared it. Though I read all through all the concepts myself and practiced doing the labs, I might not have cleared it. So I would highly recommend taking the practice test.
Uh, Congratulations, Charu.
Thank you.
Charu, how many months you took to prepare for the certification? Um, when you start, okay, I'm
So I,
doing the
I
certification.
started around April. I would say that is when I started getting the tools for the Databricks from the Databricks, and I started researching how people took the examination. Some people really took like in 1.5, 2 months. I'm not sure, but because I was taking here and there some breaks, from April I constantly started reading and also doing some labs. So April, May, June, July month, half of the July month, I just took the practice exams. So June and July was the main time where I reviewed all my notes, and then July was the month that when I really practiced a lot. So that those are the critical months, I would say. But I took a little longer, I think, like because I wanted to practice all the labs. Uh, I think 3 to 4 months is what I would say for preparing examination.
And how many hours per week you spend?
Per day, I spent
Especially,
around 30,
especially I
yeah,
would say June, July.
yes. June, July is not the only time I prepared, but I started preparing slowly from April, May also.
Okay.
So, but June, July is when I started to review it, because once I started doing the labs or even reading the materials, and when I started taking tests, I really didn't feel I was confident enough to give up the examination, because I was forgetting all the concepts. Whatever I read or did the labs, I was certain there are certain syntaxes, certain things that I was forgetting. But because of these, the practice test is when I was like making myself feel more confident.
So how many hours, Charu?
30 minutes to 1 hour every day or every other day.
Okay. So that's what it takes, like couple
Yes,
of
yeah.
months, 1
Mhm.
hour. 1
Yeah,
hour
1 hour, I would say 1 hour every day or every other day should be good enough.
and you need to make a plan, right? Make a
Yes,
plan and
yeah,
practice test will help you.
yeah.
Charu, you mentioned I little bit I got that Chat GPT. If I understood correctly, you were using Chat GPT to explain the concept and then ask you the questions. Is that heard correctly?
So what I did was the first, now, yeah, going back here, I would just go first topic. I would just read this from the Databricks Academy, watch the YouTube video, watch the videos that the Databricks provided. So once I do that, I would go back to ChatGPT and I would just type in, give me some questions on a autoloader or something, like give me some questions on Databricks Lakehouse platform. Give me 10 questions on that with options. And then once I throw some options, I'll try to pick some options and just make a note of what the correct answer is. And then I will ask it to just give the answers also. So if I get it wrong, whatever answer I get it wrong, I will ask it to explain why it is the correct answer. So that way I was like, even before I started getting the skill sets pro or doing the practice exam, then and there I was trying to test myself. Like if you are presenting some concept today in your demos, I would also think probably if we have some kind of a question and answer that will help us remember or test ourselves, right? That is how I tried. Just after reading every concept, I would just ask ChatGPT to throw some questions and I would try to answer that.
Charu, that is an excellent thing, Charu. I will follow that. I because I never did that, but going forward, I will use a chat GPT to ask questions. So, which I
Yeah,
never did that. So, thanks. Okay, I learned something today new.
yeah.
Actually, for interview preparation also we can use this concept. I used
Yeah.
to I used to use ChatGPT for interviews. Okay, give me some questions about this. But
Mhm.
I like Charu's idea of have a focused study and ask questions based on the focus study and then answer and see what is wrong.
Yeah, I think I'm not very good at taking tests. I can answer questions when I'm asked an open question, I can just write in detail. That is how I'm good at. But if I'm just thrown four options and if it's somewhat twisted, I might pick up the wrong answer, pick the very wrong answer. So for that, the skill sets pro and then the chat GPT asking questions there with options, that's really helpful.
Charu, I don't know much about Databricks. ETL with Spark, SQL, and Python.
Mhm.
Spark SQL is like more same like as SQL. Is there difference? And you have to learn Python for Databricks?
Yes. So SQL is like this Databricks tool is something like a Snowflake. What we'll do is, I thought I had another screenshot too, but I think I missed it somewhere.
Hmm.
So you can ingest data. What we'll usually do is when we have data from like streaming data sources, CSV files, or SQL database, we can ingest all the data that we want through use the Azure Data Factory and ingest the data sources. And finally, once the data lands in our Azure storage, we might want to do some kind of transformation and clean it up. First is we'll bring the data in from raw. We will do some cleanup and have it in a medallion architecture form where we will move it from bronze to silver, and then we will probably do some aggregations and make it in a gold layer. And then we will use it in dashboards. For that, this is the tool that we use. So what we do here is mainly bring the data in from the Azure storage where the data landed, and then make a table out of it using the Unity catalog that is available here. You can just compare Unity catalog with the table, the schema that is available in the data warehouse. Just like how you have a schema and table and views and all that, you can think that your Unity catalog also gives the same feature where it is like SQL like. Then you will have a schema on top of it, and or next to that there will be some tables or functions or views. You can just drag and drop those tables and functions into this notepad, into this notebook, where you can write your Spark SQL, or you can write your Python code, or you can write your Scala or R code. It is highly recommended that you write like PySpark, which is Python Spark. So I mostly work on that these days because SQL sometimes we use, but it is better to be proficient with PySpark because Spark is faster to use. It has this Databricks itself is built upon Spark. So PySpark is the highly recommended language to learn.
Beautiful. Charu, if you go back to the previous screen, where you were showing all everything is in the Databricks, like Spark SQL and
Uh,
you breakdown of the questions.
oh, the
How you
breakdown. Yeah, yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about production pipelines? Like most of us are C# developer. We have pipelines to deploy our code into build code, deploy into different environments. So can you give us a little bit overview of what is it there in production
Okay.
pipelines?
Okay. So once you bring your data in, like a data engineer might have to set these data ingestion, like every day for a particular time, or they can even they might have to even do some kind of a delta live table loads where you need to set up your pipelines to know auto load every time a change has been done in the source. It needs to bring back just the changes over to your platform or to your table. So those kind of auto loading or just the ingestion, all those kind of job scheduling can be done through the production pipelines. What you'll do is you will just have to spin up your to your pipeline. It will be like a task. You will attach your notebooks, and then you will say that just run this job like a cron. The Databricks has the option of setting up the cron, set a particular time, and then that time it's going to spin up your job cluster, which is going to be less costly than your all-purpose cluster. So, and then it will run the job, it will populate the tables, and then it will kill the cluster. It's mostly
Great.
around like how you'll schedule your jobs in ADF or any other tool. That is how you will also schedule your jobs here.
Awesome. Charul, when Mohan gave us overview of his certification, we did another video. He gave his overview, like what kind of questions he saw in the test
Mhm.
and in the real exam for Azure Developer Associate. And
Mhm.
it was shocking to me also that they were asking command line questions. So, is there any shock when you went through Skill Set Pro and actual exams, like some of the questions which you never thought would be asked, and you have that kind of surprise in Skill Set Pro?
Um, when so that I was not surprised of some questions, but the way they want, it's not like just going over the materials, but what they want to really assess you is like, uh, they were asking some questions like, lot of because this is a collaborative environment, data engineers, data scientists, machine learners are all working on this environment. They want to really test your knowledge in like all three are using the same environment cluster, and then when somebody is having a problem running queries, how would you handle it? What kind of changes would you do to that environment? So those kind of questions, even when I read through those materials, I was not able to infer and understand it. But the questions really helped me understand the answers really helped me understand uh, how what their expectation is. So it is not just the work; it is also like trying to investigate the problems that we face, like often face in the work environment.
Wow, that was a surprise to you. It's surprising, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Chad, like what time you took the exam? Like what time you scheduled? Like which day,
I
which time?
I scheduled my exam. Uh, so like I said, once I was very confident, then I scheduled my exam on a Friday evening. I just thought, okay, that'd be a nice time around 6 o'clock in the evening. I couldn't go to the exam center because all the Databricks exams are taken online. They just record us and they just ask us to take the exam. So Friday evening around 6 p.m. I took the test. I scheduled for that examination. I had to kick everyone out of the house and I took the examination so that it is a quiet place for me.
Good one. That is eating out is a good part.
Yeah.
Uh, Charul, is there any requirements like when you're taking online, you have to keep your camera on? Some
Yes.
do they
Actually, for
need you to
Azure,
install some software?
yes, yes, it is all there. Maybe next time I can go over that too. Like I can show you what and all steps I did to take the examination. I can probably just have that as 10 minutes yeah, presentation. So yeah, what I did was I had to install the software for Azure Data Fundamentals. When I took the examination at home, I could have gone to the facility, but I thought probably I'll just do it here. I had to show the proctor the room, and he wanted to be comfortable. There was no one around. There's no papers in my desk. Everything he wanted to take
Oh, there
uh,
was a guy and he was asking
yes.
you to show
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was asking me to show around the room, and he
Wow.
wanted to make sure there is no papers, there is nothing in my desk. So no other screens should be, monitors should be there. All that he just checked before I took the examination for Asha fundamentals. But for this examination, I thought they would do the same thing, and I cleared up the room really well. And when I started the examination, there was really nobody who was talking to me. So it just started recording, and it said that I can start taking the test, and it ended the examination also. So nobody was here this time talking to me. And last time I did one mistake. When I took the Ashraf Data Fundamentals, I know this guy is watching me, but then because of this was the first, it's been a long time since I'd taken that test. I was just like a little anxious, and I was moving front and back and trying. And this also, when I was moving front and back, he wants to see me right in front of the camera. I can move my head here or there because I was moving front and back. I think because he wasn't able to see me, he was just messaging me clearly saying that you're moving front and back. I can even fail you if you're not just present in front of the camera. So I was
Oh,
like, yeah, he was saying me that he was just opening a notepad and he was typing that message. So I would
wow.
say that if you have a chance, just go to the facility. Uh, I thought like almost 85% complete. And I saw this message. I went into a panic mode. I thought I'm going to
Panic
fail
mode.
the exam. So I would say just, and this time I really wanted to go take it in the exam center. That option was not available. So I
Okay.
thought, okay, I will not read the question aloud because I'm so used to read it aloud and then process it. So those kind of mistakes, please avoid those kind of mistakes, I would say.
Chari, this time there was a guide who was monitoring you? No.
I don't think nobody
Right.
spoke to me this time. Just the camera started appearing and the light started appearing and I was asked that I can start taking the examination. That is all and then it ended very quietly. So I
Uh-huh.
didn't know. They just started recording the session. They would review it. I don't know how they are doing it this time.
Or are they using some artificial intelligence
Yeah,
processing?
maybe they are using some artificial intelligence but even now I think like if this was the case, last time he checked me thoroughly inside because he didn't want me to have any papers, loose sheets. They would clearly say there has to be no loose sheets. You should not drink water. You should not have a glass with you. You should not have a pen or a paper. You should not read the question out loud because they want to make sure that you're not reading the question out loud and somebody's answering you or something like that. So all that is really considered when you have to take the examination at home.
Mohan, for your Azure Fundamental and Azure Developer Associate certificate, you went to facility or you
Yeah, I went
were?
to facility. I don't want to take it anything at home. It is home is so loaded for me always.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because see, actually, I took one of the exam not long back, last year, I believe, for Salesforce. Okay, so Salesforce, they will like as Charu said, right? Like I always speak out loud. I want to read the question aloud out. If I go to that's why I go to exam center. Okay, I will read out loud little bit. I want to hear what is the question first of all. So I did the same thing in the Salesforce. Immediately the what do you call the exam got frozen. Okay, then I don't know. They have some artificial. They started saying, okay, you should not read the question. Okay, also, right, we have a rocking chair. Okay, so always our office chairs are rocking chairs. So I just moving here and there. They said, no, you should stop. A couple of times they stopped my examination. So yeah, that happens. So that's why I prefer always go to exam center. Okay, I will ask them. Okay, they say if you speak out loud, also no one next to the seat, nobody will sit us, right? So nothing will happen. Only the cameras will be too far from us. So we are good. We can do like they will give a notepad also. If you want to write yourself, you can watch, you can see everything. But at home, you are on your own. So I took both the exams at the exam center. So exam center is a little different. Yeah. But Charu, you took at 6 p.m., right? Is that a last schedule? Last schedule of the
You
day?
know, it is not. It is not. I think this is because online you can even
Uh,
take it at 12
Oh,
o'clock.
anytime, right? Oh, okay. Got it, got
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Anytime you
took
want
my
to take, you
exam
can
at
take.
I took my exam at 4:30. That is the
No.
last schedule for the day. So when I
No.
went there, nobody is there in the examination
Okay.
center. Yes, you can speak louder and you can do all the things.
Oh, okay.
Char, I have two questions for you. Okay,
Mhm.
whatever the exams you wrote now, right? This the exam. Okay, the data engineering associate.
Mhm.
Are you using these data elements? What are the data lakes,
Mhm.
platform,
Mhm.
Spark SQL, incremental data processing? All these things are you using in your day-to-day activity?
I'd say the production pipelines I would
Mm-hmm.
use. Data governance, definitely I use
Mm-hmm.
because I'm mostly working on starting to work on the customer data. And so governance is a main part of my job. So
Okay.
data governance, 100% I would use. Production pipelines I would use.
Mm-hmm.
Incremental data processing also I'll use.
Wow.
Spark SQL and Python, without which we can write code.
Oh,
So
okay.
And then data lakehouse platform, you need to definitely understand how data lakehouse platform works. To work in, basically you need to understand how the data warehouse is versus how data lake is versus data lakehouse platform is. I have worked both, not much in data warehouse, I would say, because I started my career with um, of course, I worked on SQL somewhat, but not into too much of SSIS, all that integration
Oh,
things I didn't work. But
okay.
C, C++, that is how I started, and then I worked on SQL, and then I did some Oracle certification long back in my career. Then
Oh,
recently, just before I went into Databricks, I was working on Hadoop. So data lake, I know how it works. And from
oh,
there, transitioning into data lakehouse is not very difficult for me to understand how things works.
oh, that's good because if you, that is a really good part. Like, see what is happening. See, right now, as you know, right, I finished 1.5 months back, right? I finished the exam. It is, if you are not using this everyday day-to-day activity, you'll forget easily. So at
Yeah.
least I want make sure that you are using it. Okay, just I try to recover. Okay, whenever I get time, just I will go through here and there. I will get something. So I'm happy that you are working. So you will keep in your mind that okay, what are the things you processed, you face the
Mhm.
question. I'm happy that you're using. Okay, the
The
second.
only thing that I am not working probably because the SQL warehouse there in Databricks itself, there is something called a SQL warehouse.
Okay.
And that SQL warehouse is expensive to start a cluster because it is because it is expensive compared to the other notebook that I showed you, where you can write your code and
Mhm.
run a shared cluster. Our company has disabled it, and they are not letting us start the SQL warehouse by ourselves. Because of that, that part of answering the questions also made my life a little difficult.
Oh, okay.
So that I'm not using it. But machine learning also something that I won't be working much on the machine learning part. But only for the data engineering part, I will use like Python, PySpark code, and SQL.
Oh, okay. That's good. So the next thing is, what is the next exam?
I'm not very sure what I need to do because now I'll just like I said, I'm working on the customer data and protecting it. So I'm thinking if I should focus on doing some LinkedIn learning just for the job, trying to understand what salting is, what hashing is, how encryption and decryption are done, how I can protect the data for the company. So most like that. Should I focus on that, or should I focus on the infrastructure part of Azure? Because I'm also working more into infrastructure and trying to set this Databricks,
Okay.
trying to do the ingestion. Um, so the data engineer's job could be deep into the data engineering where it overlaps into data analysts, or it could be the other end could be infrastructure rating because it is our company is now new to Databricks.
Mhm.
So it could be like setting up the environment itself, setting up all the needed infrastructure. So I'm overlapping that area where I'm working a lot into like trying to understand the storage, the firewall, all that. So I'm just thinking, should I go into Azure admin kind of certifications, or should I focus more on protecting the data?
Why I am asked this question, right? Like, see, when I was, I know that you spend 30 minutes to 1 hour for studying something, right? Like for this exam or for 6 months. Okay, that is a really one of the greatest uh, quality. I can call it discipline. It's a really good discipline. Okay, so I want to keep continuing that. Okay, see what happened. It's my, I am giving my example. Okay, so what happened, right? I went to, after that I started preparing for myself something else like DevOps and others. What happened? I took a 2 weeks break, just 2 weeks break. Okay,
Mhm,
that reduced my complete momentum,
mhm,
complete bring down the momentum. So it is, that's why I'm telling, don't leave the hearts, hold the hearts. Okay, just every day 15 minutes push it. So
yeah.
keep something like, because I know you just finished, right? Keep something, set some goal like I like whatever it is, just something like okay, you are going to achieve this, so that will take push you that. So Because I also now I'm just because earlier I said right, I used to spend at least 45 minutes, 1 hour time. I'm just setting my goal for 15 minutes now. I'm just
Mhm.
starting again. So don't stop anything. Push it yourself. So that will either certification or some kind of thing. Okay, just
Mhm.
keep it up. So that will really help you. Like if you ask me, like what is the next level in if you are good in data, check what is the next certification for data. See, there are two things. Okay, either if you by preparing for the examination, you either you will that will help you for your next career level, either for your in next interview, next job, or anything you want to pursue. That will help one. If otherwise, it will go for your certification. So both the way it will be useful. See, that is what we call, right. I don't know whether in our side we call that what do you call seed bombs. You ever read that seed bomb?
No. What is it?
seed, seed bomb. Okay, plant seeds, right? Yeah, they will
Yeah.
make small like a small rolls. Okay,
Okay.
so they will go to the plain fields. They'll throw it. Just they will
Oh,
throw. Okay, like a
okay.
bomb they'll throw. So whichever the form they fertilize the bomb, they throw the bomb. Then it will the plant will grow out. They will make a forest out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So either will the bomb will come as a plant, or else it will become a fertilizer for the land.
Okay.
So
Mm.
either way it will helpful for you. So that's what I'm telling. Just keep focusing. So I'm also trying to do that. But when you achieve the examination, I felt okay that our team member is doing good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we did something right. Like as a group, right? We just sometimes
Better.
I'll not show, but as a team, when we
Mm-hmm.
discuss something, I learn something because I love this step because I started complete cloud here only in this group only.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. Just focus on the second thing. Like do something, whatever you're doing, just push it yourself. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Charu,
Mm-hmm.
you started your preparation in April, and June, July, you were very serious. What time you scheduled your exam? One thing, before you answer, I want to give little background why I'm asking this question,
Mm-hmm.
and Mohan, you can chime in. Uh, so, like a lot of us, we have done a lot of studies, and I'm thinking, maybe I'm planning at least fundamental. Give set up some exam after 1 month or 2 months. So set up some exam and because for this certification group members, they have been in this group for some while. So this question is for Charu, and then Mohan can come in. For fundamentals, Mohan, I think I remember you did in 3 weeks. So you set up exam. So first, Charu, you go ahead and tell us when did you just schedule your exam, and is that's what we should use to force ourselves to study for that. Just
Mm-hmm.
schedule the exam and go ahead.
Yeah, I'd say don't schedule the exam until you are at least you have to first start taking the first few practice tests, like I'm
Okay,
showing in my screenshot. Definitely take the first few practice tests for 4 to 5 days and see
okay,
for each practice test. I always put it in my notepad. Practice test, this date, I took this practice test. How much was my pass percentage? And what are the
beautiful,
different questions that I got it wrong? I took a screenshot, like a flashcard with the explanation. I just saved it somewhere.
beautiful.
I went back to those questions, reviewed it at least 2 to 3 days, so that next time when I take a different question and if that concept is repeated, I shouldn't make the same mistake. If I do the same mistake, I'll dig in further and read that particular concept. So first few practice tests, 4 to 5 days, take 4 to 5 practice tests. Take only one practice test per day. Evaluate your answer. Understand the concepts that's gone wrong in each of the tests, then summarize everything. 60%, when you get 60% for like 4 to 5 days, then you might be like, okay, I'm probably, there is a chance that I would still fail the test because I'm only at 60%. And then go back again, take few more tests. Like only when you think you are around 80%, that is when you need to start schedule the exam. Schedule the exam 4 to 5 days before, that is good enough. I
Okay,
would schedule the exam like 1 month before because I don't know how that far, if I can even, what things would change. I wouldn't know that.
Beautiful. So, Charu, you said like that's a great tip. Like pass the skill set pro, and once you score 80%, is that correct? And then
Yes.
schedule the exam within 1 week. So,
Mhm.
Mohan, like to you, like you have cleared both your fundamental and your developer associate. So, what is your advice for our group
See,
member, like
actually, my
fundamental, like when they should schedule? That's you would also recommend and
see,
take the
yeah,
skill set pro. Okay, go ahead, Mohan.
yeah. See,
Answer
the
your.
thing is, right, like when you go for a fundamentals, it's really very simple for me. Like, if you go read like whichever the examination you want to take, fundamentals are really easy. They will not ask any scenario based thing. So it is like, what is that, what you need, what, only few questions, everything what based question. So you need to remember, okay, what is the best option if I want to pay less. Okay, pay what kind of Azure plan I need to take. So what, mostly kind of what questions they will ask in the fundamentals. Okay, so if you say what is this, then you can say something like the, so anyway the four choices will be there, you can easily answer that. So fundamentals are very easy. So I will, for me, as I mentioned, it is 2 weeks fundamentals team. Like what I did, I gave the course name earlier. Similarly, I found that video in YouTube. So it's kind of mark. The why the mark is really good. That is 11-hour mark question. The guy, he really explained, because he never say, okay, this is the answer, go out. Not like that. So he explained why the answer is really relevant to the question, why we need to choose. So I loved it because it is not a dump, it is I'm learning something. So if you ask me for Azure fundamentals, 2 weeks time. Okay, finished any course from Udemy, dummy, like either Alan or I said Michael. So any one course, I like nowadays I like Alan because that guy explains really nice. He gives more practical questions. So practically he writes a code in C sharp. So I like Alan. So you just go one course completely end to end, okay, with the normal speed. Okay, then after that, if you go to the YouTube, it is 11 hours or 8 hours course. You just go speed of 1.5. Not, no, don't go with one speed. Like, right, YouTube, you can change the speed to 1.5. Then you will finish the exam 1.5 hour. You will not finish in 4 hours. You will not stretch. Okay, take 2, 3, 4 days. That's it. No need dump anything. That is a complete dump from YouTube. You are going to finish it. So just 1.5 2 weeks, you will easily crack easy 900. I'm 100% sure. When it comes to developer, what our Charu took, it is, we are going for little difficult, little harder zone. You need to dedicate some time for you to spend, like, because if you see the Azure exam itself, they say you need to have at least 2 years of knowledge in that area. See, as you know very well about me, and I'm new to Azure and everything, so it took for me almost 6 months to prepare for the exam. So initially it is very hard to sit every 15 minutes. So gradually, once the Allen's, because it's a hands-on coding, right? So okay, start coding. What is the result? Okay, so you will gradually get it. So what I did, after 3 4 months, I scheduled my exam for 1 month out from there. Okay,
Oh, okay.
then I started the skill set pro. First exam, I just scored only 42%. I felt okay, really bad. Okay, so I'm not ready for the exam, but I kept the exam on the same day. I went back again, the course, studied one more time. I just went through each and every step. Like some of the topics, really, it is, you need to bang your head. Like, what is this? Azure Hub, what is Azure notification? Everything you need to crack, because as you, if you don't have the working knowledge, it is, you need to put a lot of effort. So after second revision, I little confident, then I took one more time. So I completely stopping. I took only once the skill set pro. After finishing the second revision, I started exam. I got 60%. Okay, then I felt okay, 60% is good to progress more. So then I started revising again and again. So I canceled the the deadline. I think I kept it for April, March, or somewhere I kept. I canceled it. I put it for July somewhere. I marked the date. Okay, then I started skill set pro test. I believe they have 26 exams.
Mhm.
So the one question I always tell you everyone, the one question will be the toughest is that scenario based question. Okay, one question will have 11, one that is one chunk will have 11 questions. So you have to answer all 11 to make you get a good score. So there is no chance. It is complete scenario, like they will give, okay, you are working in the company, you are the Azure engineer, you have to set up all the environment. So what type of configuration do, what solution you bring in. So they will all the questions. So each scenario they pass based on that. Okay, what type of what do you call that architecture, what do you call that cool tier, hot tier, those kind of things, everything will bundled in one question. So there will be 11 answers you have to, question answer you have to come up with that scenario. So that is one thing will be in skill set pro. They will ask again and again many multiple scenarios. So once you go, so skill set pro for a developer will give idea how to crack the exam. But the exam in the real exam it will different. But you will get idea. Okay, you will get this kind of exam. So after 26 I finished 26 every day, one. Solidly, it will take an hour for me to crack. So 26 days. So from the when I finished the 26th exam, I felt I good. So the exam date still there is from that date to exact 1 month gap. So I thought it is not going to work. So I pre-pondered my exam date. So pre-pondered my exam date by just after finishing within 7 days. I went to the exam. I wrote it. So only thing is don't give any gap between the studies. Finish it,
Yes.
go write the exam, done. Maybe see, I would I sometime you will get failed. It's okay, but it's a lesson. But pushing, that's it. You have to go and hit harder. That's it. So
Mohan, for
yeah.
fundamental, you still recommend that 11-hour video, or skill, or you would prefer Skill Set Pro
No need skill set pro because the
for
11-hour
fundamental?
YouTube video is itself a kind of skill set pro. Okay,
Okay,
they have everything, question answer. So
okay,
that guy will. I think this is clear cat. That guy from, okay. So he is really good. I believe I kept it in our chat group itself.
sure.
I'm telling you. So just go and no need to wait. Like don't need to go for skill set pro. That itself. If you go skill set pro, I believe they will ask the same question.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it is $10 to $12. Okay, I will recommend use skillset pro also. $12, $20, use it, it will really help you.
So it looks like to me, Skill Set Pro, you can get done within 1 hour, 2 hour, or it's a lot more.
No, skillset pro, as Char said, 14 exams. For me, she had 14 exams, I had 26 exams. Similarly, if they have 10 exams, means each take 1 hour. Each exam take 1 hour. You have to
1 hour.
finish 10 exams, 10 hours. 10 hours you have to spend.
Okay, 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 okay,
So
okay.
no matter what, you have to spend this many hours. So to get the feel that you are confident on answering the questions.
A Skill Set Pro is online tool?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
The online tool,
It's a browser based, so you just
browser
buy
based.
it. Yep, it's easy. So it is all about like if whoever is working on Azure, for them it really easy. Yeah, whatever she's showing,
Yeah.
that's how it be like.
So
Start.
this one is like, yeah, I just wanted to show this because you asked a question how it looks like. You can go into SkillSets Pro, buy the course that you want, and it just once you start the examination, says this practice set 12, and it has like around 60 questions. It varies around 45 to 60 questions. Once
Okay.
you pick, you can just I don't know if it times, yeah, but it just after the end of the exam, it just tells you how long that you took to complete the test. It doesn't show you for every question, but at the end of the question, it just shows you. Now, if I pick a answer that is not correct, then it gives an explanation. So that is how it looks like. Then you can just mark your questions for review, just like in real exam. If you're not very sure, you can just mark the question and then go back to the next question. You can either check it or keep moving to the next questions, and finally do that summary to see how much you scored.
Thank you. I was saying skill set. It's skill cert pro.
Skill
Okay,
Cert Pro, yeah.
certification. And how many practice set is I have? It has I see 12 number
So
here.
this
How
is
many?
just 12, but it is there. There was actually how many did I say? There 14 tests. It was showing me 14 tests.
Oh, 14 sets are there.
Yeah, here you can see all the way down, right? So
You
pages.
can see 14 mock exams, one master cheat sheet where
Yes,
they
yes,
try to
yes.
take some notes there.
Beautiful. Okay, Charu, like thank you. It has been 1 hour, so
Mhm.
amazing. Let's wrap up. And congratulations. The information you gave us is amazing. And I'm sure a lot of people, including myself, are going to get inspired and inspired by your certification. So congratulations again. Thanks for sharing information with us. And good night.
Thanks,
Thank you
Charu.
so much, Vikas.
Thank
Bye. Thank you, Mohan. Bye.
you, Vikas.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. Good night.